Let's call this meeting to order.
Agnes Varnarski, Chairperson.
Present.
Dana Syvertson, Commissioner.
Here.
Pete Hahn, Commissioner.
Here.
Seth Marcus, Commissioner.
Here.
Joe Moskow, Commissioner. John Kamish will be absent, and we believe Ed Madden may not be able to attend. However, we do have a quorum.
Thank you. And let's have approval of the minutes of the board meeting of October 10th.
I make the motion that we approve the minutes as so beautifully crafted by Joe Moskal, our secretary.
Second?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved. Okay. Moving to old business, volunteer workdays.
Winter projects we had discussed, in getting into some really heavy maintenance stuff. There's a lot of work to be done at Marava. ComEd, there's at least a good solid work day chasing woodies and herbiciding them, and then all along Hillside Avenue from roughly Chainsaw Lewis's house to the north end needs radical rework, especially around in between Marion and the intersection there.
I was thinking that before it gets really too cold, like before bonfire, like if it's warm enough to work outside, we should probably go to the Common Prairie or the Remnant Prairie, one of those sites. Like if it gets really cold, then we'll do one of those bonfire work days, but I think we should try to hit one of those sites before, because we have all winter to work at Marava and the other sites. So we'll see what the weather shows, but we might be at the Common Prairie.
ComEd Prairie, yeah? Okay. There's Ed.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Anything else about the volunteer work days?
Got anything? I mean, volunteer work days are heavily attended.
Very heavily attended.
It's great.
We've had
Nice problem.
Yeah.
about 30 people. and-
That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Prospect Heights Public Library Park District events.
Okay, the only thing I have to report is that Flo's talk, which was formerly on January 29th, has now been rescheduled to February 13th. It will still be at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, which is roughly 1 a.m. her time, but she's willing to do it, so that's a new date. The website will change tomorrow, and it's been locked in now with the library, and she's on board, so everybody's happy. Any questions?
No, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, projects update status, Public Service Pollinator Park.
All right, I just spoke with Mark this afternoon. We're going to try to meet either tomorrow, or if he can't do it later on tomorrow. Tomorrow they're bringing in the Christmas tree from Wheeling. So that's pretty much an all-day event. If he has time, we're going to meet with Joe, the arborist, and Mark and I at the Service Commons site. We want to do some initial layout with paint in terms of locating trees, mow paths, and all the rest of that in preparation for Agnes to start herbiciding. We want to try to hit that with herbicide at least once in the fall and once in the spring to make sure everything is out of the seed bank before we start plugging things. So the goal is still to get the cement work done and to get the herbiciding done before the snow flies. So those are the two things. I'll have more information either late tomorrow afternoon or
It's gonna
on
be
Monday.
It's going to be called Public Service Commons, right? Not
Yeah.
Pollinator Park? 'Cause
Right.
we should change that on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, questions, comments?
Any questions?
Did you want to talk about the trees that we're going to do with trees?
No, just a brief note. On the original schedule, we had one tulip tree, a new bur oak, a new white swamp oak, and one hackberry tree. The Park District has to move some trees from the ComEd right away, and two of those are pretty sizable caliber tulip trees. So if we can take those and put them into this site, one where it's scheduled to get a tulip tree, but in lieu of the hackberry tree, we could put another tulip tree. That would save us about $600-700 in trees that we could apply elsewhere in the project. So unless anybody's got any real objection to that, I'll pass this down so you guys can see the schematic.
Nice.
So we'll know more about that. Those trees have to be out, I think, by the end of next week. So that's part of what we're going to look at coordinating tomorrow, and that's why Joe, the arborist, is going to be there so we can consult about moving trees and things. Okay?
Moving on to seed greenhouse program update. So we did a lot of processing at the volunteer appreciation workday, but it still needs to be processed. So Seth came over yesterday and helped, and we probably need one more session of that. And then I will be weighing everything for a total count. And then we'll be putting them into the little pots for stratification for the winter. So I have no update about that, other than that. Okay. All right, let's move on to education updates. MacArthur Middle School seed collection and processing. So there will be no processing, from what I understand, this year, but they did.
We did
receive-
processing already.
Well, no, the processing, but I mean.
Mixing.
In the mixing, sorry, no mixing. They did process, they did collect everything, so we have all the seeds that they collected. They did take little packets home with them. And so that's for that part. And then the MacArthur Middle School and Tree Planting Initiative, Peter?
Yeah, we planted 12 trees, native trees, on October 24th. The students, some of the teachers were there. Seth and Dana were there. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Everything got planted. Open Lands donated the trees, so there was no grant money involved at all. The tree keepers helped to plant along with us. Everything looks really good. We're waiting for the winter to come, and in the meantime, we're watering them weekly, usually on the weekends. So everything looks good, and the students were, I was amazed, really. The students really got in there and were happy to dig and asked a few questions. But they were really engaged, and I think they learned how to plant a tree, which was the whole idea.
I think, I agree, Peter. I think they were extremely engaged, more than normal when working with those kids. And I think part of that was the enthusiasm and the organization that Tree Keepers and you guys put into it. It was it's just so well organized and so incredible.
Yeah. Open Lands does a real good job, you know. And if we have any other sites, like it may be at Wheeling or Buffalo Grove, wherever, because there's a lot of open space out there. And
Yeah.
Sure is.
it's a good opportunity to plant more trees.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay. Then let's move on to seed collection Wednesdays, which are
Done.
basically over. We've collected a lot of seed, no final count yet, but yeah, we're done collecting seed. Seed has flown away from most sites and it's over. Then let's move on to the annual seed pressing Volunteer Appreciation Day.
I'd say it was a pretty good success. We had 46 people in total show up. We gave the Volunteer of the Year award to Mary Watson, who's Spencer's wife. And just like Spencer, she's ubiquitous. She's everywhere. She works on her own because there's work to be done. She stays after work days. It's an incredible example of a perfect Volunteer of the Year. We also gave away our very first 10-year service awards to Chainsaw Lewis and to Maria Ampolsky. Both of them, Lewis had to leave early, so we sort of interrupted the proceedings to make sure he got his presentation and his come up. We delivered the award to Maria at the library later, and she was really appreciative. So,
So these are volunteers that have been with us for 10
for
years.
10 years.
And
So,
what was their award again? It was the PHNRC logo, correct?
yes, I commissioned Mary Watson to make a pin similar to the one that she made for us, and a necklace for Maria that's identical to the one that Agnes wears. And so that's sort of like the tradition now for 10-year services. We want to give those gifts to people who arrive at that milestone. Next year, I think we have, there's either 3 or 5 people that will be at 10 years, so it's be a little bit pricey, but it's okay. So, food was great. We had the Offspring come and bless us at the very end. So Ed took a lot of photos, some very nice
Really great.
photos.
We should share that with everybody.
It was another really terrific event, so.
Ed, are you still going to be, is there any editing, or can we just
I
share
mean,
that?
yeah, I'll have to go back and,
So you want to wait for us to share the,
no, you can share it now.
Share it with
but I'll-
everybody?
I'll update it as I have a chance.
oh, I see. So just share it with everybody that was there? Okay. Let's do that then. Very nice photos. Yeah. Anybody want to make a comment? or-
I've attended every one of these, and I don't know, for some reason, that day just was very special. I was amazed. There were 2 people per processing box. And the time went very quickly because everyone just was intent on getting the job done.
I was really impressed at the people that really stepped in and had seen from previous years that there's just a lot of people, there's a lot of seed, there's a lot of organization, and usually I'm the one running around, and people really like took charge and like just did that on their own because they had already seen that.
Yeah, Wendy
and knew what to
Dward,
do. Oh, yeah, Wendy Dward.
It
like
was
just
absolutely paramount in the whole thing.
Yeah, so it was really, really nice. Yeah, it's my favorite event. One of my favorite events. There's many, but this was one of them. Okay, let's move on to prescribed burns and permit renewal.
Okay, so this was my bad. I somehow had convinced myself that our burn permit was good through January of the year. It expired on the 9th of November. So I immediately, upon realizing that, with the idea that we're going to do some burns here at the end of November, tried to rush through approval, only to find that my regular package that I would normally send to Floyd kept getting kicked out. I went online, found out the agency and all the rest of this, and it turns out there's this, took about 3 or 4 phone calls to finally get to the guy who's taking over for Floyd. Floyd apparently retired, so that explains why everything in my package was getting kicked out. But they've also changed the way they do everything, and now the application can only be done online. It's very extensive, and a lot of the maps that we normally do and send as part of the package had to be updated to include some of the new sites. I did talk to the guy at length twice. He said the permit looked great, and he was going to do everything he could to rush it through, so we should still be okay for our end of November burns. So as soon as that comes through, I'll let everybody know.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, any questions, comments? Okay. Continuous reporting, NRC budget.
Okay, John's not here, so I guess I'll dive into this. Everybody should have a copy of this that was updated. The first one that was sent out to you was missing a $500 contribution. That was added in, and then we've discovered that there's one expense that's missing for some Aquaneat herbicide we applied. So the bottom line, the revenue is roughly 6687 minus whatever the Aquaneat cost. And then the shoreline restoration is showing a $17 balance, and of course, the $20,000 balance at the service commons. So with that said, I think Agnes has a seed list that she wants to purchase. There's,
Well, I was thinking of purchasing that with our donations, because that wasn't part of our initial budget request, so we could certainly, I think, use up at least $1,000 for seed, which would really, really, really put us ahead in our areas that are, that lack grasses and that won't burn. So I don't know if you printed that up, Dana, what I sent you, but
I know.
you didn't. Okay, well, I'll forward it to everybody. But basically, and I went through the two sites, or the two places that sell seed, and I compared all the prices and the ones that are locally accessible. And, oh, you didn't even print it up for me. All right, well, I'll just fly through it then. So like, for instance, Little Blue Stem is $18 a pound at Prairie Moon for a pound, which is pure live seed. It's PLS. I mean, it's just like pure seed. Alum is the Virginia wild rye, the riparian wild rye. Basically, we could get 47 pounds of grass seed for $918.75, which is a lot of grass seed to be able to use into all of the slough and all of our areas and Pollinator Park and everywhere that we can use them. So I think that that would be a really good use of our money for those donations that have come in, because it would really set us, there's no way we can collect 47 pounds of
Right.
grass seed. So I chose, oh, right. So it's basically Canada wild rye, so it would be 5 pounds. Bottle brush grass, which we know disappears, but it would be a pound of that. Riverbank rye, which would be 6 pounds. Virginia wild rye, 10 pounds. Indian grass, 10 pounds. Little blue stem, 15 pounds. For $918, which is like, I don't know. So I think we should
Yeah,
do that.
we trust your judgment.
we need a motion to
I don't know, Peter, do you know, do we need to do a vote for expenditure?
Expenditures,
Yeah,
is it part of your budget?
No,
it's, well, it's part of the, we want to spend the donations.
we
that
want to
we've
spend the
received on it.
donations.
But whether it's a donation or whether it's your money, it's your regular budget, are you buying something that was spelled out in your budget? Or is it something?
No, this is about over and above and beyond the budget.
Well,
But so are the
it's like
donations.
If you were buying dirt.
Right.
you're
Dirt's
only gonna buy dirt.
dirt's in
But you
there.
buy a little dirt, you buy a lot.
Yeah, right.
So if it's something that's out of the scope of the budget, just for the sake of transparency, I would do a voice vote.
Okay,
But
okay.
I mean, if it's something that you've talked about, that you bought in the past, it's a staple of what you guys use on an annual basis, no.
Okay.
Okay,
But if it's something that's kind of iffy, voice will be entered.
Mm-hmm.
when I make a motion to approve the
Okay.
expenditure.
I second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yay.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, wonderful. And then also, we should get more loppers, like maybe 10, because we have so many volunteers. And the last time, we had, I think, 1 extra lopper left over.
right.
Same thing with the clippers. We have all of these, we had all those kids out and everything, and then sometimes they break. We try to fix them. We should buy parts for the clippers. We have, I think, 5 broken ones, and I know you can buy parts for them, so I think we should buy parts for the clippers, and then buy 10 more clippers and 10 more loppers. We definitely need garden gloves. We wash them all the time, but you can only wash them 2 or 3 times, and then they disintegrate, and people really use those. We do have a lot of winter work gloves, so we're good with that for now, but we definitely need more garden gloves. So if we're gonna just, and then for this winter, for the winter work days, bar oil, chainsaw blades, 2-stroke oil, and maybe a couple of bars for the chainsaws, because that's really been kind of used up.
No chains, or did you say?
Chains, I said chains.
Oh, okay.
Chains, maybe just 2 bars, definitely the chainsaw, the chains. And then I was thinking a couple of batteries too for the equipment that we use that's, battery powered.
So we'd put a list together. on
We put a
that.
list together
Send it
first.
to everybody to look at for approval.
But that's
Those
not
would
our
be
regular
all things would
budget.
be in our normal budget.
Right,
Okay.
okay. All right, so shall we move on then?
Yeah, move on.
All right, city civic meetings and patient RC representation.
Okay. Our police chief, William Campanegro, will be retiring in February 2025. Yeah, he's retiring. I didn't even know he was retirement age.
Wow. That's a shocker.
At the Prospect Heights Park District Board of Directors meeting October 22nd, the Prospect Heights Park District held a special meeting on October 15th to address residents' concerns in the Tully Park neighborhood and provide feedback for the new parcel located at 214 South Wheeling Road. Concerns from residents on the proposal to install a gravel area on the new parcel involved aesthetics, privacy, and unauthorized access. Residents proposed alternatives in a sketch to illustrate their suggestions. Staff is investigating cost and feasibility of alternative options suggested for the gravel area and aim to work with the NRC to explore the use of native plants and other landscaping elements to enhance the aesthetics and address drainage concerns. Staff will schedule another community meeting to present the revised plan. The work is anticipated for the spring of 2025. The board's main concerns are the safety of their workers and efficient work. Tully Park must be serviced by the Park District, therefore, access to Tully Park is needed by Park District personnel. The Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals October 23rd meeting was canceled. The next PZBA meeting is November 20th. A December PZBA meeting is not planned. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Friends of the patient RC.
Okay, I just received notice from the lawyer today that the final application has been approved, and it's sent in. So it's now waiting approval from the government, which could happen at any time. It's an online application, the easy form, so it's generally shorter. So we're still optimistic that we could be up and running by end of December. We have installed Marcia as the president, and Jill has volunteered to do not only the secretary, but also the treasurer position to start off with. So that we're on pretty solid ground, I think. There is a sort of a more formal announcement going out in the November Journal about all of this, and kind of showcases Marcia and the fact she's the new president. And we should know sooner rather than later when we're ready to be up and running. So at the point that is approved, then I would call for the first meeting, and then you guys would have to establish a bank account, and there's already checks waiting to be deposited, so off we go. Very exciting, to say the least.
All right, let's move on to new initiatives. Signage for Pollinator Park.
Okay, part of what's left in our budget, I'd like to just get a couple of signs that say no fishing, restoration in progress. There's a couple areas at the shoreline that keep getting sort of annihilated by people fishing. So I want to do that sooner rather than later.
You should probably run that by Mark.
I can, yeah.
No, for sure. And then also, like, it should say, like, just right here, because fishing is allowed everywhere else.
Right. Yeah, but this is an area that looks like it's access and it shouldn't be, so.
So do we have like almost like a map of the entire property and where we want them to access and where we don't want them to access?
It doesn't exist, but we could certainly put it together, yeah.
Well, it's just over the plantings, I think. That's where you don't want them to step
Right,
over
but
the
I mean,
plantings.
do we want to look at and see that everyone, is nice distribution of access places?
Yeah, it is
That's
pretty
something definitely-
evenly distributed.
We should
right
definitely
now.
talk to Mark Roscoe about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And
To
then,
be on the same page about everything.
yeah. And then there was some question about it's one thing to say, don't do this, but it's something else to say, do this. It gives you,
Right.
once you say to somebody you are allowed to do something, you're,
Yeah,
you
right.
might not want to do
Yeah, I
that.
understand.
That's why we have to run it by Mark Roscoe. Exactly why we need to do
But
that.
fishing is allowed elsewhere.
Well, it is. Well, no, but see, but yeah, you can't say it's allowed either, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not, I mean, yeah, let's just talk to Mark Roscoe about it and see how we can avoid, maybe we just say like, don't trample on the plants and just avoid the whole fishing thing altogether.
Or just say this is not an access area.
Restoration?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
not, this is a
restoration progress,
restoration,
do
no
not
access.
trample or do not step on the plants or
Or say,
something.
no access,
Or-
restoration.
Yeah, let's start with Mark. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay,
yeah, let's do that.
hopefully I'll see him tomorrow, so,
Right. If not, then Monday.
okay.
Okay, and then trail paths and optimal with conversation.
That's a John
We're waiting
That's a
conversation.
John
so-
conversation, we'll have
Next
that
time.
next time. Okay. Okay, then let's move on to new business, the 2025 Prospect Heights Commission meeting schedule.
Yes. So I sent everyone a draft, if you were able to look at your calendars for 2025.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
It follows the sequence that we meet the second Thursday of every month, except June, August, and December.
Wait, did you send, I
Here,
don't know if I got that.
We don't meet in July either.
no, no,
No, we didn't. We,
We didn't go 3 full months.
No, we didn't go 3 full
no,
months.
no,
I'm
we
sure
met
we
in
did.
July.
August? We didn't do 3 full months without meeting.
I'm sure we did.
Maybe we shouldn't, though.
Jill, when did you send that? I didn't get that.
Along with,
When I sent the meeting materials
Yeah.
back,
This one? Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
That's
Is,
okay.
can I keep this?
Sure
one?
you can.
Oh, good, good, thank
Yeah,
you.
no, we meet in July. It's June because we're planning for the 4th of July parades. And then
Well,
July.
the whole summer, I mean, it's work,
But I,
so.
True.
I'm showing both June and August were no meetings.
June and
We
August.
did meet in
We
July.
did meet in July.
Okay,
Let's keep it that way. I mean, we
Yeah.
can't.
Okay.
3 months is a long time. That would be like, yeah, that would be a really long time not to meet. I agree.
okay.
Mhm.
Can I quickly just run this over to Patrick? Let's see if we can put this up. Patrick, is it possible that
The internet doesn't lie.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and sometimes, you know, if something comes up, that can change, right? But that's,
And what was Seth saying when you
Or should we
said?
move on to announcements to the public?
Well,
no,
sometimes
let's
he
wait for
has
Seth.
announcements.
Yeah, sometimes Seth has an announcement.
I have an
Let's-
announcement.
What was he
Well,
saying?
let's wait for Seth.
What was he saying about when you say do not, that you shouldn't say do not? What
It should
was
be
that?
affirmative instead of,
Well,
You shouldn't be in the negative, is what you're saying?
okay.
Admittance prohibited.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, prohibited is better than saying do not.
It's complicated. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I imagine.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
so-
I just had an announcement to the public, and I was hoping to put something up there,
Oh,
but
I
I guess
see.
it won't
Okay,
work.
well, no,
Oh.
it won't?
No,
Oh, okay.
because it won't send, because I don't know, somehow we're in here.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, Patrick, I think, did it go through? Patrick, did you get the picture?
fishing program.
Not yet.
It's on as bad as no fishing.
Not yet.
Okay, all right, so I'll tell you the story. So the story is that before, I think it's, you know, because we're environmentally concerned, and that's part of our mission about education and the like. And before I brought up ideas of various ways we can be helpful to the environment, and I think I actually brought up before about toothbrushes, that many of us use plastic toothbrushes and the like. Well, there's many things online, and I found one, and I'm not pushing the product necessarily specifically, but just in general. There's this product that it comes in a box, a recyclable box. It's called an organization called Zero Waste Cartel. And then you open it up, and inside there are 10 little cardboard boxes that, this is all made from recyclable stuff. And you pull out one, and in each one, there's a toothbrush. And the toothbrush is made out of bamboo.
Wow.
And the bristles are also, usually I thought, okay, well, the bristles are going to be plastic. They're not. And then you might think, okay, these bristles are going to be pretty darn uncomfortable, right? They're not. They're soft as can be. They're very soft, and in fact, I use these. So just mentioning, there's ways you can lower your plastic waste
Wow.
by getting a box of these 10. And by the way, it comes out to like less than $1, or no, a little more than $1, less than $2 for sure, per toothbrush. It's like $1 something.
What are
per
the
toothbrush.
bristles? Yeah, if you
Yeah.
can send the link, we can put it on the website. What are the bristles made out of then?
I think they're bamboo too. I'm pretty sure they're bamboo.
Bamboo.
And they're very
Wow.
soft.
And that's easier on your gums, too.
They're easy on your gums. Everything is, this is all recyclable, and this is made from recyclable material.
Did they see how many uses you get out of each toothbrush?
No, I looked at that, and there's a little conflicting stuff about how long you should use a toothbrush, and so
Right.
I don't have a definite answer to
Yeah, because some people use their toothbrushes for a long time,
For
some for less, and some for,
Yeah.
for two.
But anyway, just letting
nice
people know
product.
there are alternatives to plastic that are very easy and inexpensive, and
Thank
So,
you.
yep.
That's a really great idea. I would like to get some of those.
Yeah,
I
send
know
us the
we-
link.
Yeah, we've been using the one that John suggested last time, those,
Yeah, sheets.
the sheets,
Mm-hmm.
instead of buying big gallon jugs of plastic.
Laundry detergent.
Laundry detergent, which
Yeah.
is something that you use all the time, and they work excellent.
Yeah.
Completely biodegradable, and it's just a sheet that you put in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really wonderful.
yeah.
More products like that is what we need for sure.
Okay, I would
Seth?
like to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and thank you for all the people that work with us. We really appreciate you. Thank you, the veterans, and everybody have a nice holiday. We don't meet again until January, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so. let's
Visitor
call the-
comments? No
There are no
visitors?
visitors. Let's call,
I make the motion, we adjourn.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.